In a world where everyone is constantly speaking, arguing, proving themselves, and reacting to everything, silence has become a forgotten skill. People rush to share their opinions. They rush to defend themselves. They rush to respond. But Zen wisdom teaches something surprising. The strongest person is often the quietest person, not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand the value of their energy. They know that every argument costs energy. Every emotional reaction costs energy. Every unnecessary conflict costs energy. And they refuse to waste their peace on things that do not matter. Today, you will discover the power of silence and how quiet people protect their energy using ancient Zen wisdom. Silence is not weakness. Many people mistake silence for weakness. If someone remains quiet, others assume they are afraid. If someone walks away from an argument, others assume they have lost. But Zen wisdom teaches the opposite. Silence often requires more strength than speaking. Anyone can react. Anyone can become angry. Anyone can lose control. But remaining calm when emotions are rising requires discipline. A wise person understands that not every situation deserves a response. They choose peace over proving a point, because they know that protecting their inner world is more important than winning an argument. True strength is self-control, and silence is often the highest form of self-control. Why most people cannot stay silent? Most people fear silence. The moment things become quiet, their mind becomes restless. They reach for their phone. They start talking. They look for distractions. Why? Because silence forces us to face ourselves. When everything becomes quiet, we can no longer escape our thoughts. We begin noticing our fears, our worries, our insecurities. This is why so many people fill every moment with noise. But Zen masters understood something important. Silence is where healing begins. Only in silence can you truly understand your own mind. Only in silence can clarity appear. Quiet people understand the value of energy. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources. Yet most people waste it carelessly. They argue with strangers online. They worry about other people's opinions. They get involved in drama that has nothing to do with them. And at the end of the day, they feel exhausted. Quiet people understand something different. They know that energy should be invested wisely. They ask themselves, is this worth my peace? Before responding, is this worth my attention? Before reacting, is this worth my energy? Before becoming involved. Most of the time, the answer is no, and so they remain silent. Not because they are weak, because they are wise. The Zen story of the insult. There's an old Zen story. One day, a man approached a Zen master and began insulting him. He shouted. He criticized. He tried everything he could to provoke a reaction. But the master remained calm and silent. Eventually, the man became frustrated and asked, "Why aren't you angry?" The master smiled and replied, "If someone gives you a gift and you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man answered, "To the person who offered it." The master nodded. The same is true with anger. The lesson is simple. You do not have to accept every insult. You do not have to accept every negative opinion. You do not have to carry every burden others try to place on you. Sometimes silence is simply refusing to accept negativity. Not everything deserves a response. One of the most powerful lessons in Zen wisdom is this. Not everything deserves your attention. Someone criticizes you. Someone misunderstands you. Someone spreads gossip about you. Immediately, the ego wants to fight back. It wants to defend itself. It wants to prove itself. But wisdom asks a different question. Will responding improve your life? Most of the time, it will not. Many battles are not worth fighting. Many arguments are not worth winning. And many people are not worth convincing. Quiet people understand this. They conserve their energy for what truly matters. Learn the power of listening. Most people listen only to reply. They are not truly listening. They are simply waiting for their turn to speak. But Zen wisdom teaches deep listening. When you speak less, you observe more. You begin noticing things others miss. You understand people better. You understand situations better. You understand yourself better. This is why wise people often speak very little. They are busy learning, while others are busy talking. The person who listens carefully often gains more wisdom than the person who speaks constantly. Silence in the age of social media. Today, silence is more powerful than ever. Social media encourages constant reaction. React to the news. React to comments. React to strangers. React to every controversy. People spend hours every day becoming emotionally involved in things they cannot control. And as a result, their minds become overwhelmed. Zen wisdom offers another path. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, do I really need to engage with this? Sometimes the best response is no response. Sometimes protecting your peace is more important than sharing your opinion. Silence creates space, and space creates clarity. Silence creates inner peace. A noisy mind struggles to find peace. Constant stimulation creates constant stress, but silence allows the mind to settle, like muddy water becoming clear when left undisturbed. This is why meditation has been practiced for thousands of years. Not to escape life, but to understand it more clearly. When you sit quietly, your thoughts slow down. Your emotions become easier to understand. Your mind becomes lighter, and gradually, peace appears. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. The strongest people are often the quietest. Think about the calmest people you know. They rarely argue. They rarely seek attention. They rarely feel the need to prove themselves. Why? Because confidence does not need constant validation. Wisdom does not need constant recognition. Strength does not need constant display. The strongest people are secure enough to remain silent. They know who they are, and because of that, they are not easily disturbed by the opinions of others. Their peace comes from within. Protect your peace like something sacred. Your peace is valuable. Treat it that way. Do not hand it over to every rude person. Do not sacrifice it for every argument. Do not trade it for temporary emotions. Protect it, guard it, respect it, because once you learn to protect your peace, your life begins to change. You become calmer, clearer, stronger, and happier, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop allowing everything to control your mind. Conclusion: the power of silence is not about saying nothing. It is about knowing when something is not worth your energy. Zen wisdom teaches us: speak less, observe more, react less, protect your peace, because not every battle deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your response. And not every situation deserves your energy. The quieter your mind becomes, the more peaceful your life becomes. And remember, silence is not emptiness. Silence is strength. Silence is wisdom. Silence is power. If this message resonated with you today, take a moment and reflect on this simple question. How much peace could you gain by reacting less? If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and join this journey of Zen wisdom, mindfulness, and inner peace. And comment below, my peace is worth protecting. Thank you for watching. And remember, the loudest person is not always the strongest. Sometimes, the strongest person is the one who remains silent.